In the last couple of weeks, my wife started hybrid training, and with surprisingly little coercion, she's agreed to spend the next 3 to 4 months following a programme of running and lifting that I've designed especially for her as a beginner. So in the last fortnight, she's been testing her strength and her fitness, and she's also been taking a few other baseline measurements so that at the end of this block, we can actually see whether or not she's made any progress. You all know that I'm a massive fan of this style of training. I mean, I literally spend dozens of hours every single month running a YouTube channel on the topic alongside my actual job of being a doctor. But is it for everyone? Well, hopefully in this video we'll go some way to answering that question, but if Find My Friends is anything to go by, Lil's almost home from work. Ready to train?
No.
So why do you want to start hybrid training? Apart from for YouTube content for your husband?
A lot of the times, like exercising as an adult, I feel like I've exercised because that's what I should do, rather than like wanting to do it. And I do generally enjoy exercise, but like doing it to just better myself. So like mentally, physically, emotionally. I would also say just to generally feel fitter and more athletic. I'm quite a weak girl, or I feel like I come across as a weak girl. I'm not actually that weak, but I do want to get stronger. And I'm like excited to like push myself.
So do you want to go for a run?
No, I want to sit on the sofa and watch TV, then go to bed. But I will go for a run and I'll feel better for it.
Yeah. Seriously. Enjoy!
Thank you, goodbye.
I met Lily 12 years ago when we were both 16, and at the time she was a star striker in her local football league, winning the Golden Boot multiple years in a row. And then later when she got to uni, she ended up joining the stunt cheerleading team as a flyer, and went on to captain that team and win multiple national competitions, so you get the kind of girl that Lil is. But a recurrent ankle injury ended her football career, and the UK stunt cheerleading scene doesn't really exist outside of universities. So like many other adults, myself included, when she entered the world of full-time work, she also left the world of team sports behind. Her last few years of training have included the odd gym workout here and there and a bit of an up and down relationship with running, with some more structured training like when she ran her first marathon in April this year, but with large gaps in between those events due to injury or frankly lack of motivation. So Lil's current relationship with exercise reminds me of my own only a few years ago. There's not much consistency or intensity, and that's disappointing because she has bundles of ability, and I can confidently say that between me and her, she's a more natural and talented sports person. I just don't say it too loudly or when she's in the room. It's just in the last few years I've managed to find a way of training that keeps me focused and engaged. And I think she'd also agree that she struggles for motivation outside of a team sports setting, where there's only herself to hold herself accountable. And listen, she obviously still looks amazing and is objectively a fit and healthy woman. There's no need for her to be doing anything more than she's doing now from a health point of view. It's just in my experience there's so much more to be gained from exercise and hybrid training than simply health outcomes or aesthetics, although these are also good reasons to train. As Lil said earlier, it's that continual pursuit of self-improvement and desire for personal growth that's motivating her to take this on. And I know that sounds like a bunch of mushy crap, but seriously, that's the biggest thing that I've got out of my hybrid training journey these last 18 months, so that's what we're aiming for with this project too. So where's she at currently with her strength and fitness? Well, for those of you that saw last week's video, you might remember that she hit a combined total of 152 kilograms on the squat, bench press and deadlift. And for those of you that didn't, here it is. So I thought that was a pretty decent starting point, and there's obviously a few points of technique that we hope to refine over the next few months, such as the depth on the squat or the bar path on the bench press.
You got this. Nice.
But solid effort. And then last weekend we went to our local park run where I recently set my own PB, and we tried to get a maximum effort 5k out of Lil. And things started really positively.
Guys, 1 kilometre down now. That's exactly where we need to be, yeah? Just past halfway. She's doing brilliantly. 1.5 miles to go, Lil, come on.
But in the last kilometre or so, things got a little ugly.
you filming that?
No, I didn't film that. Right, come on, finish strong, yeah? Come on, Lil. Last 300 metres.
So including a short 20-second break to Chunder,
Yes, Lil, come on.
she ended up crossing the finish line in 25 minutes and 26 seconds. And I don't think anyone can dispute that this didn't represent a legitimate 10 out of 10 effort for her. And in fact, maybe she went a bit too hard on that day. But aside from that, we measured a few of the different variables, such as her starting body weight, as well as her average daily protein intake over a week. We're not expecting nor targeting huge fluctuations in body weight or muscle mass over this period, but these are still useful metrics to know, because regardless of her desire to gain muscle or lose fat, she'll need to be consuming a reasonable amount of protein just to recover from all that training she's putting in. To begin with, she'll be lifting 3 times a week and running 3 times a week. And although she's been running a bit in the last few weeks, it's been relatively inconsistent, with weekly distances anywhere between 5k and 30k. So first off, the goal is just to hit that consistent distance every week for the first month or so, just to get her body used to more regular running, after which we'll start to gradually increase that distance and also the average intensity too. She'll start off with a long run, an easy run, and some form of higher intensity run each week. With the gym work, her goals are around getting stronger and feeling more athletic, rather than being larger or bulkier. So we're sticking to the core compound lifts, starting with 4 sets of 8 reps at 60% of those 1 rep maxes she managed earlier. Just like in my own training, I've split her 3 workouts into 2 squat and push days and 1 pull day. So she's been joining me during my own sessions at the gym or in our garage. Each week we'll gradually increase the weights until she's approaching failure, at which point we'll mix up the rep scheme and drop the intensity. In my own training, I typically increase the weights by 2.5 to 5 kilograms every workout or each week. But with Lil's training, these small increases in weight represent quite large jumps in terms of percentage of a 1 rep max, so this might not always be feasible. In these cases, we might keep the weight static 1 week to the next and instead increase the reps, with the aim of gradually increasing her training volume over time and hopefully making her stronger. Lil works an almost 50-hour week, Monday to Friday, and leaves the house usually in the morning by 7, so her time's at a premium. But as a relative beginner, especially in terms of her weightlifting, she can whip through her gym sessions in around 30 minutes, because, no offence Lil, but it doesn't take her all that long to warm up to her working weights. This might change as she gets stronger and starts lifting higher intensities later in the programme, but to begin with, 30 minutes for a gym session seems very achievable. We've also kept any accessory work to a minimum, because as a relative newbie, just hitting 3 structured sessions a week focused around squat, bench press and deadlift and a couple of other exercises is more than enough to elicit a good training stimulus. Her 2 midweek runs will start off between 5 and 8 kilometres, so shouldn't take her any longer than 50 minutes, with her weekend long run being more like 90 minutes. And apart from that, just a few notes on recovery. So each week she'll have a single rest day, either a Saturday or Sunday. Every 3 to 4 weeks we'll fit in a deload week where she reduces her running mileage as well as her lifting volume. We'll probably nudge up her protein intake to be more like 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, and also add in some creatine. And finally, we'll try and fit in 1 to 2 sessions of prehab work each week. Plyometric type movements and a bit of stretching, nothing complicated. The main metric for success in this hybrid training block for Lil will be whether or not she enjoys it, both the training and how she feels in herself. Because like I've said before, with hybrid training the ends don't always justify the means, particularly if you don't achieve a faster 5k or a higher powerlifting total. You need to find a way to enjoy the process and the journey to make running and lifting a real habit. But of course secondary metrics will be whether or not she can lift more weight and run a faster park run, and bonus points if she doesn't vomit next time too. So I'm pretty excited for these next few months, and I can't lie, it's been pretty fun making her a programme, and Lil's been a really good sport humouring me on this. So listen, there's nothing particularly cutting edge or radical about this programming. Hybrid training at the end of the day is really just working out. I'm just trying to bring some consistency and a small but healthy amount of higher intensity work into Lil's routine, with the hope of bringing her the same joy and satisfaction that this style of training's brought me. And if you want to follow her progress, well, subscribe down below to stay up to date. And if you enjoyed this video, if you could drop it a like, it really helps out the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you again next time.